So I have a video already on the shadow, so let's talk about the persona in dreams. I'm Dr. Goodwin, psychiatrist with 20 years of experience, a published Jungian scholar and lecturer, also a debut fantasy author. You can check the link to that in my profile. So the persona is, first of all, a complex. That is, it's a partial personality or collection of emotional associations all centered around some common core, which in this case is social adaptation within a collective of some kind. See, people often talk about how humans are so social, but it's really, I think, often missed just how social we are. Early humans and proto-humans like Auroran and Australopithecus existed in environments which were so dangerous, there was a huge selection pressure placed on them in order to work together towards mutual survival. So much so that social rejection actually winds up recruiting the same brain regions involved in physical injury and physical pain. It produced brains that are obsessed with what others think of us because for our ancestors, that was literally a matter of life or death. So is it any wonder that social rejection can feel so painful that sometimes people wind up considering unaliving themselves just to escape it? As such, the persona forms early on as an attempt to integrate into a collective tribe of some kind. But because this is biology and nothing's perfect, it can be clumsy, it can be awkward, or it can have that hallmark of poor development, all or nothing nature. Even though we need to behave in such a way so as to fit into a social network, if we don't realize that this might be going against our own grain to do so, it can cause all kinds of problems. And this kind of inner conflict between the ego, which is kind of who you are naturally, and the persona, which is who you feel like you have to be, it's normally not a big deal. We all put on various masks in various settings, and the persona means mask. But we realize that the mask isn't really who we are, at least not all the time. The problem, though, comes when the persona is very tyrannical, has so much energy behind it, it tortures the ego with subjectively experienced life or death stakes. And so we might dream of fighting with someone who has a rigid all or nothing demand of shoulds. You should be this way, you should not be that way, otherwise you're worthless, blah, blah, blah. And the trick here is to remember that the persona, it isn't really the enemy so much as it needs to be understood and developed. It's a part of ourselves just trying to socially adapt. And if we never had adequate socialization, if we were abused or neglected, or especially if we didn't have good mentoring, this persona will oftentimes be very rigid, inflexible, and tyrannical because it's just poorly developed, heaping shame and guilt on the ego. So let me know in the comments if you've ever encountered characters like this in your dreams and what you do. And if you like my approach, you can check out my website, ericgoodwin.com, and some longer form stuff also on YouTube.